Hi everybody, this is just a life update in my own generalness, just wanting to talk or do something. Currently we are at the last day of classes for the spring semester of school year 2018, if anybody else is having the same day. Talk about brain fart. Anyways, I am so happy to report as last day, like I said. So I have one exam coming up, another exam on Tuesday, and then thankfully graduation is on next Friday. I am so happy to be ready to be done with university. I'm sure there's lots of other people who are graduating this year. Everybody who's graduated anything, I'm sure they can all know the same elation. I'm just so happy to be done and finally take a break to get back to working. And I know I keep looking out the window because of the clouds. It's been raining here all day today, and it finally stopped long enough to where it's like it went from like a heavy downpour this morning constantly to a good solid mist, and then it tapered off finally by this afternoon, and it finally stopped by the time I got out of class. So I've been noticing clearly. I've noticed with just mood shifts. It seems like here and there goes up, go down. Anyways, so far yet nothing else has happened with Jet, but continuing my progress, as I said, obviously I replied to them with the reply form and the passport photocopy and my background check. So that's already done. And I'm going to wait for it, but still try to keep myself busy over the next 6 months between trying to just do normal stuff because I need to save up money. I've got to pay off bills too, and I got to get my car in better condition just in case I need to sell it very quickly to raise up money for Jet. But one other thing I was thinking of looking into is I'd already been obviously with Jet thinking of teaching English in Japan. And as I mentioned on the last article, the last video, I was starting to get just a little down. But I'm understanding of it because, like I said, if I don't get in this year, rather than reapply in fall, I'm just going to reapply next fall, So that way it gives me time to put something else on my application. So, but in conjunction with that, I also mentioned that I was thinking of applying to Aon, considering that they also they don't pay the full thing of your airfare. If you get it, they pay up to 70,000 yen, so almost $700 once you put in a currency converter, or just convert it anyways into US dollars. Because considering my situation, at least right now, definitely coming up with airfare and the 1 month salary, 1 1/2 maybe, it might be kind of tricky right now with my situation, so I'm really needing the one that could help pay for with airfare. It would really, really help right now. But something else I was looking into, as I've been looking into about the TEFL, where Jet says it's not required, but it does actually help you on your application. It can really, really help you depending on where you place. Also, the main thing with having a background or a bachelor's degree in education helps, but you don't have to have it. Well, I went ahead and also started looking into the thing for teaching in South Korea, for teaching English to see what their requirements are like. And the two programs that at least I'm obviously seeing off is Epik, and then the secondary one is called Talk Scholar. Well, Epik, apparently it says it does elementary, middle, and high school settings, whereas the Talk Scholar only does elementary school settings. Now, the one thing I've been noticing that is problematic about the Talk Scholar is if you try to go through Google, the main website, when it opens up for me through Microsoft Edge or Mozilla, the page comes up saying it's insecure and it won't load up whatsoever. Whereas then if you go, instead of the main homepage, if you go through one of the sub pages, that loads up fine, and you can automatically go to the homepage from, like, say, the eligibility criteria. But for some odd reason, when you go to make an account for it, it won't let it go. I don't understand that. Both web pages, both browsers are saying it won't go through, that it's an insecure link. So I'm like, okay, that kind of seems weird and fishy too. But, I was looking on YouTube, and there's a bunch of videos once you actually start looking in specifically teaching English in Korea via Epik or Talk Scholar. One problem I've noticed is that to go through Epik, which I'm seriously considering, don't get me wrong, I am considering that. Epik, I looked under the eligibility criteria, and originally I'm seeing like 2 years ago, the videos, most people's videos of it are saying that they'll take any bachelor's degree. It's fine as long as in some way relates to education. Well, yay, the sun's coming out. Awesome. Well, apparently now on the website they are saying, because there's 3 levels on Epik's criteria, and I'm seeing that they said the level 3 is the one that's any bachelor's degree. Well, apparently they are saying that they are no longer accepting people with a level 3. They are only accepting level 1 or 2. And apparently, so the levels of level 2 is there's a regular 2 and a 2+. The 2+ is having a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in both educational fields of some sort. Whereas with just a regular 2, you can get in on a bachelor's degree of any discipline, but there are 3 subconditions for that itself. The first one it says you have to have is the bachelor's degree of any discipline plus 1 year of teaching experience, or number 2 is going to be any discipline plus it's darn it. It's the TEFL certification. And of course, number 3 is going to be the any discipline plus the 1 year of Talk Scholar experience. It's like, well, the Talk Scholar is obviously a lesser program as it only does the thing, and it, instead of doing the general like $2,000 a month compensation or salary, it only does like 1.5, so you're looking at only about $1,300 a month. Because it's more that the other one is more like an internship. Talk Scholar is just an internship. I mean, you're still getting paid for it, don't get me wrong. And that one only requires, for your eligibility, you only need to have 2 years of basic experience. So that's why it's a good one if you've got at least a tech degree in English or something and you're just trying to get into it. Which I was looking into. But because of the website having issues, that kind of seems a little nutsy. So instead, I'm thinking that I really will go ahead and, while I'm waiting to hear about JET, I am going to go ahead and focus on trying to save up the money to take one of the TEFL courses. Because considering with work, it's going to take it'd be a little bit tricky, as I said, for the moment to even get away to do the to do an in-class portion for a TEFL certification, to do the online and in-class part. And most of them are in big states like Texas or upstate, like New York. So I'm just thinking of this, and that's why I wanted to put all this in. I didn't realize the video was 8 minutes. Oh, crap. Anyways. But I'm really thinking that maybe I should do this. I'm going to go ahead and do this for sure. I'm like, so I want to be able to have both options open to do both for, if I can get my TEFL certification, then I can both reapply for JET next fall, as well as AON, and also the Epik for Korea. At least right now, it's a first start game plan, and I'm still going to do a lot more research. Once classes are done and exams and I don't have to worry about that, then I can really do more research into both programs while I'm trying to save up the money for my TEFL certification. Mostly I'm seeing right now a good one, like really, really good, and possibly even in on-site, in-class on-site part is going to be about like $1,300. But I'm like, right now from what I'm seeing, everybody's saying at least the 100 to 120 hour course, and then most people are saying that it doesn't take that long at all, that you can finish it in a week, if not less than that, depending on how much time you truly have to devote to the material. Still, of course, pros and cons to it of being an online portion is there's no in-class practicum. So, but considering at least right now with everything going on, at least if I can get in a good online one, and I got to make sure it's accredited, then maybe that's at least a first step forward, and it might really help when I go to reapply next year, should I not get it this year, which is still cool, because at least it gives me time to save up money for either way, for both for the first part, for the TEFL certification, and the secondary for both programs, because both AON and JET and Epik are probably going to require you to save money, at least for that first month's salary. So it at least gives me time to really think and back up some of the stuff I'm trying to work towards. As I see this is approaching 10 minutes, I will go ahead and stop here because I doubt anybody's still going to be watching at this point. Most people, we tend to lose focus after 5 minutes. Bye. Mata ne.